Hello and welcome back to Seconds Out. My name is Ayman Khan here with the first interview of the year with top trainer Mark Tibbs. Mark, Happy New Year once again. How's life treating you?
Happy New Year to you, Ayman. Good to hear from you this morning and good to see you. Yeah, life's good, man. Life's good. Life's good.
Great to hear. No rest for the wicked for yourself. You've got fights to train. How's everyone looking at the gym?
Yeah, I've got Giorgio Vizioli fight on the 31st, the O2 Indigo on the Matchroom show. He's 5-0 at the moment, lightweight, stroke super feather. Not too sure what he's going to campaign at. If he fights for a title, when he fights for a title, we'll make that adjustment then. But no, he's in a good place, in such a good place. When I was out in Saudi with Johnny Fisher, my gym owner, Kevin, one of the partners in the gym, he oversees his sessions for me, and I've come back and he's had a couple of sparring sessions since, and he's so on fire. I've had to cancel a bit of sparring, bring him down a little bit because we don't want to overdo it. So no, I mean, he's in a great place, Giorgio, a great prospect, beautiful prospect, and yeah, he's going to go places. I can assure you that. Yeah, his sixth pro fight on the 31st of January, O2 Indigo, Matchroom Boxing.
Could you give us the latest on Tommy Fletcher as well?
Tommy Fletcher's been in touch. He sent me a text yesterday. He's big things, big things, 2025. And he lives next door but free to me here where I live here in Essex. So he's gone back to Norfolk, but he's back. I know he's had a meeting with his management, and I expect him to fight in February. Yeah.
Okay. Going into some of the talking points from the last couple of weeks, I want to go straight into the conversation surrounding Johnny Fisher, who got the nod against Dave Allen. First of all, I want to say commendable with how both men have dealt with all the reaction to the fight. But what was your assessment of how the fight went? How did you view it on the night?
Well, on the night, he done well. He was doing well up until the fourth round, Johnny. Then he allowed to fight Dave's fight. He allowed Dave to draw him in at mid and short range, which that was not in our plan, and that could only be down to inexperience against experienced campaigners like Dave, and that was a concern that could happen. But how he got to the 10th was remarkable from Johnny Fisher, and what a wonderful man he was to work in the corner under when he's under that in that mix with such a wealth of experience. You can't teach or only explain to them how it's going to feel, but until you feel it, that's when you know what it's all about. But the heart that Johnny Fisher showed, yeah, and the communication in the corner during the fight, while I'm explaining one or two pointers to him, or quite a lot actually, how he felt. I don't know how he done his best to follow them instructions, but he did. He done it, and like I say, like I believe that there's a couple of obviously there's some work to be done with Fisher, but yeah. So it was a we got the nod, we got the hand raised, and we go again, But I would have much preferred a consistent performance like the first four rounds, like to spread it in the middle and all. But we had a good seventh and a good last round, extremely good last round, and I don't know how he found that. So it was lovely. Credit to Fisher for sure. And over the moon with him. But Dave Allen, what a lovely fella, and what a job he done himself. So credit to both men. Yeah.
Yeah, talking about guiding Fisher to the final bell in those moments, can you say as to what was being exchanged in the corner? What were you telling him to do, and do you feel that he was able to effect your instructions?
Yeah, well, the thing was, he was making a few mistakes by sitting on his right hand side, yeah, on his right hand side for too long, for too long. You know, you can't, and making himself too short. You know what I mean? Too short. He needed to be upright, above and proud. You know, strong like he is, the younger lion. Not sit and go. And he didn't have it in him. I don't think to counter if he was drawing him. You get me? Or he wasn't drawing him. He was just he was happy to lock horns. He was happy to lock horns at short range, and that's where Dave's bread and butter was. If you get what I'm saying. And Dave, Dave had Johnny in a position to go up again and get the job done, but he couldn't. He couldn't either. You know, so Johnny's going to take a lot from that fight, probably you know than he ever has done in all of his fights. If you know what I'm saying. So yeah, and also yeah, crossed his legs a couple of times, and you know, just some silly mistakes, But you know, we got, as I say, we got the win, and we go again. We go again. He's got to learn from that.
Putting any result aside, a huge box ticked in terms of when the going got tough, Fisher rose to the challenge and stuck in there and didn't find or look to find a way out. Is that, look, you'll have known that by working with him in gym and seeing him inspiring, but it's another thing to do that on the brightest lights on the Saturday night. So for you, is that a huge box tick to see him do that?
Well, you know, I'm gonna. It's easy for me to say this, but that was brilliant to see in real life. But I knew Fisher's heart was like that. Listen, is it pain barriers and pain barriers? But if you look in one or two interviews for this fight, I did say, listen, I don't question Johnny's heart, never, ever. But to be fair, only in the real thing, which is we had the real thing in Saudi. So now, yes, he's ticked that box 100% in front of the whole world. So he has ticked that box. So listen, when you've got a fighter that can dig in like that, and there was not 1 ounce or degree of quit in Fisher, not one look in his eye, and how he was feeling in them 8th, 9th, 10th rounds. And if you could hear me in that corner on simple adjustments, he did it. He did it to keep him safe, and you know, and to you know get through to the end. And he did it. Marvelous, marvelous.
I mentioned about the reaction to the fight. Have you seen much of the reaction and some of the conversation, some writing off Fisher's chances in a potential rematch and his future as well? What have you made of those comments from certain observers?
Well, do you know what? What do you know? It's natural to feel. It's natural to people to feel the way they feel, and they're entitled to their opinions. But you know, I know it makes myself and Fisher and my whole team want to tweak and work with this guy when he's got a heart like that. And you know, I'm happy to. Yeah, I'm happy to. When Johnny sits down with his management and ourselves, you know, I'd be happy to have that rematch at some point, 100%. And yeah, for sure.
I just ask you, just sticking on the first fight, how confident were you at the final bell? How did you have it at that final bell?
No, to be fair, I was. It was. It could have gone either way.
Mm.
It could have gone either way. I hold my hands up. It could have gone either way. And I was just hoping and praying we got the nod, and we got the nod.
Mhm. And then the other thing is, look, a lot of people want to see that rematch between the two of them. Do you feel like in an ideal world that maybe Johnny might have another one in between, or would you be happy to have him have that rematch immediately?
See, when this fight first come about, yeah, when I first heard of Dave Allen, who I forgot about Dave Allen because you know Dave fought Dillian years ago, and Dillian used him as a sparring partner, as I said before. But what it was, Johnny Fisher blew away Alan Babich, yeah, in the 1 round. Remember that?
Hmm.
And then we had a press conference, Johnny did, with Eddie, and Eddie brought up Dave. And I thought, lovely, well done. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. But I never thought that it had happened so soon. And the sale was picked up on it. One of Johnny's guys in his team, in his management, I guess, yeah, jumped on that and brought it forward. I thought in my head at that particular time, we had a job in Australia and we was going to do fight a certain guy. I can't think of his name, but we was going to fight a certain guy in between or after the Alan Babbage fight. But yeah, the Saudis picked up on the Allen and Fisher job, and it was an offer. Johnny,
You
yeah,
hear me?
Ayman, basically, what? Yeah, good. Can you hear me, mate?
I
Yeah,
can hear you. Just rewind 10
can you
seconds.
hear
You
me?
were just, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, when we had a press conference after the Alan Babbage fight, Eddie mentioned Dave Allen, and I thought, wow, yes, good shout. But the Saudis, I expected that sort of fight to happen like mid-summer 2025 or February 2025, something like that, because we was expected to go out to Australia. It was in our plans to fight another guy on an Australian, in Australia as an away day sort of thing. That's what we had in mind. But the Saudis picked up on the Dave Allen and Fisher fight, brought it forward, and it was an offer we couldn't refuse. So we embraced that. We're grateful for that, and yeah, so that was how that Fisher Allen fight come about. Now we had the fight. It went how it went. I feel that how people feel, the public feel. I feel we owe them a rematch at some point. But yeah, it'd be nice if Johnny could have a fight February time. And what about a rematch with Dave Allen at Romford Dogs in the summer? How'd you like that? That's just my dream. I'd love to see Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher 2 at Romford Dog Track. How great would that be? Summer 2025. But listen, he's got to sit down with his management and his promoter, Matchroom Boxing, and plan that fight. I'm sure. So yeah, we'll see. But no, it was a great fight out in Saudi. And as I think I said before I cut out, we welcomed the fight in Saudi, and we were grateful for it. And it was an offer we couldn't refuse.
Fair enough, Mark. Just moving on now, I want to get your thoughts on the main event. I don't know how much you were able to catch of it or maybe rewatch it after the live. It happened live, but Usyk versus Fury 2 saw Alexander Usyk get the repeat victory over Tyson Fury. There was, for some, a little bit of controversy, feeling that the fight was a lot closer, maybe even a draw, or that Fury might have nicked it. But how did you feel having watched that fight?
Well, shortly after Fisher's fight, we had to have some medical checks. Johnny did. His mum was worried about him, so we done the right thing. We went to the hospital. They was great. They looked after us. We went to a hospital. Johnny got fully checked out. So we watched that fight on a phone, yeah, on an iPhone. So we watched the fight on an iPhone, and what I saw of the fight, it was much tighter than the scorecards, and I fancied Fury nicked it, but I've not seen the replay yet. So I'm looking forward to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, just in terms of that fight, from what you did see, then what was Fury doing well to nick those rounds? And did you feel he performed better than he did in the first fight?
Well, I felt. Listen, as I say, I watched it in a hospital room. We was about 8 of us all around this phone, so you can imagine how it was.
Hmm.
So I felt he nicked it I just felt he boxed better than he did in the last fight, and I was scoring it round by round. It wasn't easy, but I felt he done enough, right, by watching it on that phone. But and probably I was hoping he got the victory, so it was 1-1, and then we can have the trilogy. And I was thinking along them lines. But as I say, I've got to yet to watch it on my TV here at home in the peace and quiet.
Oh, fair enough. Just lastly, I want to ask you, of course, as it was, the judges scored it 116, 112 to Alexander Usyk, which now means that Fury might now be taking on anti-Joshua, a fight that the boxing public have wanted to see for a long, long time. Who would you put as the favourite in that fight if it was to get over the line?
Uh, what a fight that'd be as well. And it's such an exciting fight. I mean, it would be an exciting fight. And I think both of them could be, could be at the end,
Mm.
at the end. So, but it's such an attractive fight, such an attractive fight. Um, difficult for me to say, Ayman. Difficult for me to say. Both of them, both of them have got the qualities to get the victories, and difficult for me to say. What a fight, though! I mean, that is a cracking fight. If Tyson decides not to retire and carries on, that's a great fight. Yeah, I can't pick a winner in a minute. No.
Fair enough, Mark. That's all the questions I have for you. Appreciate you giving me some of your time as well, too. Thank you for speaking Seconds Out, and looking forward to our future interviews this year in 2025 also.
Thank you, Ayman. God bless you, mate.